as the Earth turns on its axis away from the bright, warm center of our solar system towards the vastness of space. We reach a point called the Midnight Nexus. It is where transmissions from the dark void of our universe are most easily intercepted. These transmissions seem to be coming from different worlds, alternate realities, and even the past and the future. Dark secrets and otherworldly tales have been pieced together and are presented to you here. Welcome to the Midnight Nexus.
What Dreams May Change by Aaron England.
The patio, easily reached through sliding glass doors, provides an outdoor living room ideal for separate activities.
Restless again, tossing and turning, staring bleakly at the passively changing digital alarm clock. It's 3 a.m. now, and Redmond Swift is unable to get any quality sleep once again. It's been nearly 4 days, and Redmond's running low on energy. Might as well see what kind of dumb shit's happening online, he thinks to himself as he grumbles out of his bed and shuffles over to his desk. He powers up the monitor and begins to scroll through social media with the enthusiasm one might thumb through a copy of Redbook at the laundromat. Political arguments abound as per usual. He watches a few movie trailers, runs across an advertisement that seems to catch his eye. The new miracle drug for insomniacs, or those simply seeking a good night's sleep and a fresh outlook on the world. Click here for more information. Redmond felt a bit like a rube clicking through that link, but a desperate man will try anything when posed with such trying mental strain and physical exhaustion. One pill for $200? Huh. I guess it has to work, or I'm walking into one of the biggest traps ever. Taking a moment to think to himself, he decides to go ahead and pull the trigger on what could potentially be the worst financial decision he's ever made in his life. Filling out the address and billing information, Redmond gets to the end of the form, and then he has a second thought about the entire thing. He looks over and sees his wife sleeping peacefully in the bed they share, and decides not to click the Order Now button. He thinks to himself, I'll just make a doctor's appointment. I'll do it in the morning. I'll see if there's anything they can prescribe to help. Insurance will cover it. I won't feel like I'm paying for some magic pill purchased on a sketchy website that I've never even heard of before. He closes the browser, turns off the monitor, and returns to bed in a feeble attempt to fall back to sleep. Eventually, pure exhaustion shuts his body down, and for a few hours, before he's greeted with the clattering alarm ringing out around 6 a.m., he gets a few hours of sleep. The morning rituals are all completed, like Redmond is functioning on autopilot. He steps into his shoes and goes to walk out the door when he stops short. A small brown paper package is sitting on his steps. There is no writing or postage on the package, and it's far too early in the day for the post office to have brought such an unusual delivery. Redmond steps back inside and sits the box on his kitchen counter, puzzled. Then his wife walks in.
Did my AirPods come?
She says without even questioning the early delivery. Maybe. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I'll see you later, honey. I'm running late. I gotta go. Kisses his wife gently on the lips and heads out the door. Redmond's workday seemed to drag on and on. Passing coworkers received nothing more than his traditional grunt and grumble of responses. A ceiling fan set high above his desk whirs slowly, creating a white noise that unexpectedly lulls Redmond into a brief moment of peace, and he dozes off sitting at his computer. It's right then that Redmond's boss, Alex Craig, walks around the partition and looks into Redmond's cubicle.
Hey, Red, listen, pal, why don't you just take the rest of the day off? I know you've been struggling with the lack of sleep or insomnia or whatever. Maybe Nancy can give you a little afternoon delight when you get home and tuck you into bed for a long winter's nap. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, Alex? I'm doing it, man. I don't care how behind I get. I need to get some sleep. I just don't know what the fuck is wrong with me these days, man.
Just make sure you get your shit together. We've got to present your report to Arthur Keeling on Friday. I need you fully restored and rested.
I'm the best employee you got. You think I'd blow things with Keeling over a little sleep deprivation? You're nuts, man. I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early.
And well rested?
I sure fucking hope so. When he arrives home, Redmond's greeted at the door by his wife. She sees him pull the Accord into their modest driveway.
So, what exactly is insomniac?
She inquires before he could even get 1 foot into the house. What are you doing, honey? Snooping through my browser history again? I told you. You don't want to look at that stuff. Trust me, Redmond insists.
No, it's that package that came in the mail. It's 1 dose of something called insomniac. I looked it up online, but I couldn't find any information. Is it a sample, the doctor said? I mean, to help you deal with your sleeping issues, or?
No, I never even called the doctor today. I didn't call Dr. Eunice at all. Actually, it slipped my mind once I got to the office. This is actually a drug I was looking at on the internet last night.
Oh, okay. So you ordered it. That makes sense. Well, how much was it? Do you think it'll work?
That's the thing. I never ordered it. And to receive something in less than 24 hours that you didn't even order, that's got to be one of the most bizarre things I can even think of. The damn thing was $200, so I couldn't get myself to pull the trigger on it, no matter how desperate and tired I am.
Well, hon, we got to make sure that you didn't accidentally order it by mistake or in your confusion last night. I got to call the bank.
Nancy takes her phone into the dining room to call the bank, as Redmond just stares confused at the instructions that accompanied the pill. Simple directions, no warnings, no allergy disclaimers, just one brief statement. Swallow pill, sleep well. It's printed on a light purple business card, tucked into the packaging of the mysterious solitary pill. Nancy enters the room after concluding her bank interrogation.
Well, you didn't pay for it with any of our money anyway. Nothing's better than a free drug, though, right? There's no return address. I mean, if this stuff will give you some rest, man, I'd give it a whirl. What do you say? The packaging seems sterile and legit. I say you pop that sucker in at bedtime and hope for the best.
Well, I guess anything's worth a shot at this point. I just hope it doesn't cause dizziness or a stroke or something crazy like most medicine warns you about these days. I may just test it out right now, though. I could use a good 12-hour pajama session to get myself back in order before the big presentation on Friday.
Well, as long as you think it's safe, babe. I'm heading out of town anyways. I have to go grab a few things at the outlet mall over at Browerton. So it's gonna take a little while. So take your little night-night candy, and I'll be back later this evening to check on you and see how the hibernation process is working.
Redmond takes the small tic-tac sized pill and swallows it down without even flinching. Well, I guess we're in it now. We'll see where this takes me. Is it working yet?
Honey, it probably takes about 15 to 20 minutes. I'll see you later tonight when you're all rejuvenated and ready to watch a marathon of 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh, Jesus. Talk about a sleeping aid. Redmond quips as he hugs his wife goodbye and heads off to the bedroom to lie down. As he enters the bedroom, a fever-like nausea comes over him. He falls on the bed, attempts to close the blinds, but can't. Redmond Swift is completely unconscious and draped across his marital bed like a 2-day drunk on a 3-day bender. An endless cornfield expands for what seems like an eternity on the other side of Redmond, as he walks pointlessly down a potentially endless gravel road. The persistent fog making it difficult to gauge if there's an outlet to some main thoroughfare, or if this is a path to some point of no return. Either way, Redmond has no idea how he got here or why he continues to walk this path, but it seems as though it's the only decision he can make. To walk or not to walk. To take the obvious path or to get lost for all of eternity in a quagmire of bad navigation by wandering off into the cornfield itself. He'll stay the course. He knows this is a dream. He hasn't had one in quite a while, but he recognizes the fuzzy remembrances. After what seems like hours, he reaches an old stump in the ground, with light shining down upon it, as though it were a holy place. A disembodied female voice calls out to him.
Lay down your burdens. Have a seat.
Redmond sits down on the stump and speaks to the voice. Who are you? What is this place? A frustrated scowl forms on his face as he gets no response. He calls out once again, Show yourself! Tell me who you are! I want to know where I am! Tell me where I am! Redmond hears a shuffling beyond the mist. Something moving through the corn. He becomes unsettled and stands up, ready to fight should things go sideways. Quickly, his worried expression fades into comfort and love. Love engulfs his spirit as he sees his beautiful wife, Nancy, emerge from the rows. They run to each other and embrace.
Let's sit down and I'll explain everything that's happening here.
Nancy said confidently as she leads Redmond back to the stump. I mean, I've got to be dreaming here, right, Nance? I haven't dreamed in a long time. This could just be the result of some long-needed rest, or maybe I've crossed over to some other realm, but everything seems so real here, Redmond says in worried tones.
Just sit down, honey. I'll explain it all in due time.
Nancy sits down on the old stump with Redmond. The couple look into each other's eyes with the same passion they shared the first day they met. Nancy's lips part to speak, and before she can utter one tone, one single syllable, a light from above shines down on both of them, brighter than the sun itself, and in a flash, both Redmond and Nancy become frozen in place as statues. This is their eternity, or this is Redmond's eternity. Nancy returns home after a long day of bargain shopping at the outlet mall. She walks in the house, notices a dark kitchen, tries flipping lights on to no avail. She opens the fridge to put a few grocery items she picked up in the crisper and realizes everything's lukewarm, as though the power's been out for quite some time. She begins to worry and starts to look for Redmond.
Redmond? Honey, are you home? Honey, you sleeping? Power's off.
Nancy opens the door to the bedroom and is startled by what sounds like growling or snoring beyond anything Redmond normally produces. She fumbles around with her cell phone to turn on the flashlight. She pans across the bedspread and notices blood spatterings. Redmond lays prone, face down across the mattress, as what appears to be some sort of insect bursts from the back of his spine and begins to drink the fluid directly from his skull like some sort of parasitic mosquito larvae. Nancy takes a few steps back as she screams in terror and stumbles into Redmond's dresser and quickly remembers that he always keeps a handgun in the top drawer. She reaches into the top drawer, moving socks around loose change, and grabs a pistol. Nancy runs to the bed and blasts both the parasite and Redmond to pieces, all in one fatal motion. She slumps down on the bed next to Redmond's decimated corpse and begins to cry. How could she explain this to the police? Who would believe her? Why would they believe her? There's no real way out of this. She begins to lose her grasp on reality. The room spins. The next thing she knows, she's shaking Redmond's corpse and screaming,
What the fuck happened?
over and over again. She lies down on the bed next to her once beloved husband, puts the pistol in her mouth, pulls the trigger, and kills herself with just one shot. The police chalk it up to a murder-suicide. But what did really happen? Some claim he was poisoned by an alien parasite, and others like to think the government did it to him as an experiment in servitude. Either way, the tale of Redmond Swift belongs to the Midnight Nexus now, forever and always.
What Dreams May Change, written by Aaron England and read by Randy Woten. The Midnight Nexus was created by Jake Thornburg and Randy Woten, and is a ZTO TV production. Theme music by Jake Thornburg, with additional music by Saturn Boy and Franklinstein. Thank you for listening, and remember to subscribe to ZTO TV podcasts wherever you listen.